again, everybody. Welcome to Story Time with me, Teacher Tanya. Today we're going to be reading Sleeping Beauty from the original Brothers Grimm book. Now everybody knows the story of Sleeping Beauty, Princess Aurora, who pricks her finger and falls asleep and gets woken by a very handsome prince, and they live happily ever after. This story is the original one, so we'll see how much it's different from the movie. You ready? Once there lived a king and queen who had no children. When at last a baby daughter was born to them, they were overjoyed. They were so happy. "I shall give the biggest and the best feast ever seen for her," said her proud father. It seemed as though everyone in the kingdom was invited. The most important guests were the 12 fairies who make special wishes for children. In fact, there were 13 fairies in the kingdom, but in his excitement, the king forgot to invite the last one. At the feast, the 12 fairies gave the little girl their best gifts: beauty, riches, goodness, and much more. Just as the 11th fairy had finished her wish, there was a crash as the great door swung open. It was the 13th fairy. "So you felt like you didn't need me?" she screeched. "Here's my present. On her 15th birthday, the princess will prick her finger on a spindle and die." That's mean. And she swept from the glittering room as a terrible silence fell. As the guests looked at each other in horror, the 12th fairy spoke. "I cannot take away the curse completely," she said, "but I can make it better. The princess will prick her finger, but she will not die. Instead, she will fall asleep for 100 years. The years passed, as years do, and the princess grew up to be clever and kind and beautiful, just as the fairies had promised. On the morning of her 15th birthday, she woke up early and walked out into the castle courtyard. It was a beautiful day, and as she walked, the princess suddenly saw the sunlight glinting on a little door that she had never noticed before. She opened it and climbed eagerly up the winding stairs inside. At the top of the stairs was an open door through which a very old woman could be seen as she sat spinning. Now the princess had never seen anyone spinning before, for the king had banished all spindles from the kingdom when he heard the 13th fairy's curse. "What are you doing, good woman?" asked the princess politely. "I am spinning this fine thread," answered the woman. "Would you like to try?" And she held the spindle out to the curious girl. "Oh!" cried the princess. And as she took the spindle, she pricked her finger and immediately fell asleep. At the same moment, everyone in the castle fell asleep. The king, the queen, slept in the throne room, the servants slept in the hall, even the cook and the kitchen dogs fell into a deep sleep. Many, many years later, exactly 100 in fact, a prince happened to be passing the castle. It was so overgrown with brambles that you could only see the topmost turrets. But as he rode along beside the high and thorny hedge, the prince saw something magical. Suddenly the hedge burst into bloom. 1,000 roses spread their petals in the sunshine, and the hedge opened to let the prince through. The prince was astonished to see all the sleepers in the castle. At last he found himself in a small room where the princess herself was sleeping. He was so dazzled by her beauty that he bent over and he kissed her. At that moment, 100 years had come to an end. The princess opened her eyes, and the first thing she saw was a handsome young man smiling down at her. Gently, he led her from the room to the courtyard below, where the whole castle was coming to life. It was not long before the prince and the princess were married, and the king once more gave a great feast. But this time, he was very careful indeed with his invitations. The end. If you want to apply to study with us at ABS, please call 081 950 6659. Hopefully I get to see you guys very soon. Bye for now.